I don't know.
No,
Didn't get no intro.
I didn't. The
What?
intro didn't happen, which is fine. Now I got to go
Hey,
back to my thing here, hit a button, and my TikTok. There's my monitor. Okay.
okay, there we go.
I can't see a thing.
Can't see
Where's
anything.
my monitor? Okay. Update channel. Yeah, see, Instagram's a bugger because it asks you to get a new stream key every time you do this.
Yeah, and it wouldn't let me connect the stream key.
No, and because they don't give us stream keys anymore.
Well, they do on Instagram, but it wasn't working.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
We're good to
so
go.
what's
We
the
don't get the
what? Did we pick on a name for your little podcast that we're doing here, or what are we doing?
well, we had our Q and my podcast was Q and then the letter U, and then
Right.
trying to get the Asian feel. I thought Q and YU sounds very Asian.
Hey, what the heck? That's kind of racist, don't you think?
What does you mean in China? In Chinese,
How Asian do you think I am here?
you're more Asian than I am because I'm very
Well,
Caucasian.
come on now, like that's. I guess we can get a little bit more offensive, but that's pretty good. So let's just be mildly
Okay.
racist from now on, I guess. Right?
Mildly, you gotta
is that a
shoot
good
some,
call?
but you gotta shoot some darts at me every once in a while. Like
So we're calling it Q and U. Why
Q and
U
U.
is?
Does YU mean something in Chinese?
Jesus, I don't know. I thought I don't know. You're asking me a lot
You
of
can
these
tell me it's a
questions,
food, and I'd believe you.
we should probably Google that and see what that means, right?
I don't have Chinese Google. Have you?
Chinese. What do they call Google in China then?
Just the guy next door that has all the answers.
Let me find out what it means for you.
We used to call it calculators.
So extra, surplus, remaining.
You?
Yeah, no, you. Yeah. It's like,
How do you say that in China?
What was that movie? With Jackie Chan, where the
Shanghai Noon?
Yeah, no, the other one, Rush Hour, and they were going on, like it was like a who's on first type of thing.
Oh, is who a name?
Yeah, it was who could be made. Who's on first? Yeah,
Who's on first?
that used
That
to be a
makes sense.
restaurant. That was a restaurant, Chinese restaurant over at the ballpark in Winnipeg. Who's on first?
Who's on first?
It was brilliant. That was a good name.
You guys are brilliant at the names for things. Usually it's just Ken's Chinese food or Sam's Chinese food or
Yeah, it's got to Canadianize it for all the white people, right?
Right. So as we're going to the all Canadian or nothing.
Yeah, let's go all Canadian.
All Canadian. It's everybody's boycotting the States. However, I am gonna crack a bottle of Kentucky bourbon because
that's what I'm drinking. I'm drinking this is Yellowstone bourbon. No, this is brown sugar bourbon.
Brown sugar bourbon.
My
cap is spinning and I've never had this happen. Like the cap won't crack.
I swear this has never happened to me before.
This has never happened to me before. Like the cap it's all spinning. Like I can't crack.
Just keep spinning it. Just keep going.
Well, you think with the mechanics of it, this thing should just pop off, but
the old days you would just knock off the top, right?
This is back when corks were a good thing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't put corks in that stuff.
I use at the gym and
Kentucky.
I can't pop a bottle.
Get your kid to do it for you. Kids can crack into anything.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. See, here's the thing. Everybody's on this. I get it. People are upset. But
I mean, that's kind of what happens when you get your leader saying, we're going to take the country next door. Didn't that happen in history at some point in time, a few years back?
It did. Hang on. We've got echo because I'm an idiot and I didn't put my headphones on. Okay, there we go. Now I can hear your buttery smooth voice through my headphones.
Yeah. Like who was that world leader who did that? They just sort of jumped over into another country. There's I don't know. I can't remember who that was.
Was it China?
No, it wasn't China. No. Well,
yeah.
Germish? But no, not yeah. It was it wasn't China, the one I'm thinking of anyways. So
no. Daboja.
Yeah, Daboja. This is a very sweet bourbon. If you ever want to try something incredibly sweet, brown sugar bourbon.
Where'd you find that?
Liquor Mart. Before they took it off the shelf?
Better yet, what's it called? And I bought this today at the liquor store.
What's this called? I told you it's brown sugar bourbon.
It's actually called brown sugar bourbon?
It's brown sugar bourbon, yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I went to the liquor store today and I said, you know what? I'm going to buy a bottle. I just feel like having a bourbon. And when I was in there, I was thinking, why would they pull the bottles because of this? Like, I look at it in a kind of a different light. If you are a business and the things you sell happen to be sourced from the States, sometimes you can't help that. It should be left up to the people that are buying their stuff if they want to or don't want to buy it.
Well, it makes a bigger impact. But I mean, also when you're government run, I guess you can do whatever you want.
Well, that happened before when they told us we couldn't buy certain things. I don't know if you remember that. It was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, there was what happened 5 years ago. There was something that was going on about 5 years ago, where it's like you couldn't go to stores or something. So
we try to forget about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But my guess is the egg shortage in the States. I bet you if the chickens all had tiny little masks on, this wouldn't be happening.
Well, there's something to be said about that. So there's an egg shortage down in the States. It's kind of like the toilet paper shortage that we had up here from 20-aught, right? Or 20
the toilet paper shortage?
20 or 202-aught or whatever you want to call it now, right? The toilet paper shortage.
Yeah, but the toilet paper shortage was ridiculous because one, we produce a lot of paper products here in Canada.
Yep.
And this stemmed actually from Australia because Australia doesn't have the pulp and paper that we have, and they were having a shortage. So they were getting their toilet paper from China. And I think because
do they use toilet paper in China?
Do you use toilet paper? Do you use chopsticks?
Yeah, of course you do use chopsticks.
That'd take a while.
But you don't use chopsticks for cleaning your ass, so right? That's the difference.
Use it for playing with yourself.
Well, okay then. Here we go. We're gonna go racist here. Here we go.
We're not at all.
No,
I'm asking. I'm curious about your culture and how things work.
Yeah. So okay, let me ask you this: Are you anti-American with all these tariffs and all these things? What would you call yourself?
I would call myself. I'm pro Canada because I'm Canadian. Clearly, I and here I'm going to Tarantino this for a second and go backwards. Isn't it amazing how suddenly we're all real proud to be Canadian? Where for the last couple of years there was a lot of Canada sucks.
Well, there's a lot of that, definitely. Yeah, everyone's really upset how bad Canada had turned. Now it's all of a sudden like, hold on here, it might suck here, but this is our suck, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad. We've got some times are tough.
It's kind of like if you have an older brother or a younger sister or whatever, sure. And you see them being picked on at school, right? Mm-hmm. You go in there and you beat the pulp of the bully because nobody beats up my younger brother or sister except me.
Right.
It's the same mentality.
Well, here's the problem: we are allies historically.
Well, it's supposed to be.
So I can see where people are torn because they don't like what's happening or what could potentially happen. But the whole I'm only going to do this because of that. Really? Are you? Yeah. Are you really going to not buy anything American?
Yeah. Like, let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts.
Well, I mean, you could say you're going to buy Canadian products, and that's fine. Like, you can. All of our needs are met by Canadian products. There's no doubt. We can buy everything we need.
I don't know about that.
Sure, you can.
No, I needed a new iPhone. So where would I buy a new iPhone?
You can make your own. Come on.
Right, I could make my own. They don't like. Yeah.
Well, BlackBerry's sure not coming back. Could you imagine? No. Could you imagine if this is what fires BlackBerry back into being a thing?
BlackBerry is still publicly traded.
It's publicly traded, but they don't make phones anymore.
No, what do they even make now?
I don't know. Drones. You should know this.
It's BlackBerry. Do I look Canadian? Do I look Canadian to you?
You are Canadian.
Well, it doesn't mean I look like it.
No, you don't look Canadian. You look like the sun shining in your eyes all the time.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Right? Is it bright in there? Have you got a ring light right at your face?
Always got so racist.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like you could say, hey, Quentin, you've got a very round face. And yes, I do.
Yeah, yes, round and like a pierogi, right?
like a cabbage. It's like
Yeah,
kapusa
like a
head, we call it
cabbage.
back home.
Kapusa head, really.
Kapusa
And
head.
what does that mean? Cabbage head?
Cabbage. Cabbage. Kapusa's cabbage.
Yeah, is that where Cabbage Patch Dolls come from? Is it a Ukrainian thing?
They might have based them off Ukrainian kids. That would make sense. We're not thin, I'll tell you that. We don't blow away in the wind very easily.
No, so do you grow in the Cabbage Patch though?
Well, I'll say I definitely spent a lot of time in a cabbage patch. I mean, we had an acre of garden behind my grandparents' place, and it was
That's
continually
fair.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
it
How
was
do you
cabbage.
grow Kubasol then?
Oh, that we hunt.
Yeah.
You hunt Kubasaw.
You don't
And
grow that
you-
one, eh? So little
What's that?
Kubasol plants. Little Kubasol plants.
Okay. Let's double checking all my stuff. No, I think you got, and I get it. People want to be as raw Canadian as you can be, but the reality is you're probably not going to. I mean, I've seen people cross I've seen people cross the border to buy spray cheese.
Yeah, people are going
Like-
across the border all the time to get the favorite flavor of pop that they can't get across. They can't get here.
Right. So people are going to buy what they want. And if you want to buy what you want, we're going to do that. If you can look me in the eye and tell me that you're only going to buy Canadian, you're only going to support Canadian, does that mean you're not going to go to McDonald's?
Good
know?
luck to all those buggers who like Bud Light. What are you going to drink now? You going to
Dude,
switch to a Bud Light? But serious.
There are people that will cross the line to buy their Budweiser so they can watch NASCAR on Sunday. That's going to happen. That's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Of course,
they'll
there
be
are, but seriously, like if your whole life is based around #Bud Light lifestyle, you might need
You're going to
some
buy
growth.
it.
You might
You're
need
gonna buy
growth.
Like if you put 20 beers in front, I'm not a beer guy, but I think we talked about this before. If you put 20 beers in front of me and there was a Bud Light, a Canadian, a Labatt, I couldn't tell you the difference between these because a beer is a beer.
No, really, it doesn't. Because I look at it this way: Bud Light really tastes like sadness. You know,
Loving the Canadian content. Hey, thanks, Carrie.
like
Hang out
like
and
any time I've
tell your
been to
friends
your
to watch
place.
this stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tell them to stick around, please.
Yeah,
right?
stick around.
Please. Anytime I've been at your place for a haircut, I've always brought Canadian beer.
Right. And they're good.
Right? They taste like very Canadian.
They're very Canadian beer.
They're very
but-
Canadian-ish. Maple syrupy.
How come they don't? Why is there not a maple syrup beer?
I bet
have a brown
there
sugar
is.
whiskey.
I bet there is.
Anybody in chat know if there's such a thing as a maple syrup beer? And if
There's
not, why the hell isn't there?
There is a pickle beer. There should be a maple syrup beer. There should be.
I'm in
And
Mississippi.
you can actually
That's cool,
get.
Carrie.
You can get maple ales. You absolutely can. Maple
Really?
syrup beer. Absolutely.
Worth having.
That's good for breakfast. Maple bacon and coffee porter. Maple
Duramax Devil.
bacon and coffee. Dude, like seriously.
Maple bacon and coffee and a beer?
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't make sense. Hang on.
It's like,
Duramax
it's like your
Devil.
whole breakfast.
You could have that for breakfast,
It's like your whole breakfast.
right? Duramax Devil. So, hey, Quentin, can I join you live? Here's the thing. I'm trying to figure this out because we're working on Restream versus the TikTok studio, and it's really hard to get someone to join in. I would love to do a live with you though, Duramax Devil. Send me a DM on TikTok and we'll bang one out if you want to do that too. Just on TikTok live.
Right now we got to complain about Canadians and Americans.
We're trying to get this thing going together, and this is Canadian technology for you, but it's probably an American company. Here's the thing, and Carrie, you're in Mississippi, but are you from Brandon? I'd like to know who that is. I have somebody on TikTok saying that loving the Canadian content, guys. Keep it up. I'm in Mississippi. I'm happy to watch this Brandon content. Well, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it hard because we're talking about people that are being Instagram and TikTok heroes saying, I'm only going to buy French's mustard because blah.
Yep. Because it's Canadian. It's truly Canadian. Okay.
Sure.
Sure it is.
Carrie.
Because Canada, Mexico, and China are
So there's tons of stuff going on about this trade war here, right? The retaliations against the trade wars. So let me ask you this. What is an American product that you love?
An American product that I love? Are you talking food?
Anything in general.
I guess if I drink, I'll buy Coke Zero just out of habit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's so in that case, what is a replacement for Coke Zero?
President's Choice Pop.
I can does that count?
Co-op Gold, but there are options. Like I said, we can have what we need, but
None
you're
of them
not going to
have
get what you want.
cocaine in them, though. None of them have coke.
None of those were the good old days when
They
you
still
had a
do.
Coke and it was worth having.
They still have that though. It's
Shut the
still
hell up.
produced. It's still produced. Yeah, completely.
Here,
Not here, obviously.
Colombia,
So yeah, probably Colombia. That's
China.
where the real stuff. China,
China?
definitely. No, they put fentanyl in the coke there.
It hits you a little different.
Yeah.
The fentanyl.
You squint a little more.
Is that why?
Yeah.
It's all the fentanyl in your Coke.
It's got to be something about that, anyways. So.
Here's the thing.
God, what a horrible thought.
It isn't it though. I think I appreciate the fact that people want to support, but boycotting doesn't really make sense, and people aren't going to do it.
No,
Like,
no.
That would mean
God,
you're
no.
not going to go to any concerts by an American band.
Yep.
You're not going to watch any movies. Are we going to be stuck watching CBC? Name a show on CBC. Name one. The National doesn't count.
No.
Name a show on CBC. Come on.
I can't
We're all-
name one. I can't name one. I can't name a single one.
And Mr. Dress Up isn't on anymore.
Hinterland.
Hinterland?
Hinterland. You don't remember that one?
Why would
Hold
I? And all I know is we produce a lot of Anne of Green Gables.
Hold on. Here you go. You will remember this one. I will play the song for you. Okay, so just listen. Okay. Come on, play. Okay, it's not working here.
Are you talking about the Hinterland Who's Who?
Yes, I am talking about the Hinterland Who's Who.
That's
don't
right
know
up there
why
with the Lumberjacks ballad.
It is the Lumberjacks ballad, and I can't get any of the music to play for some reason, which is strange.
Probably because I listen to other stuff.
Probably.
But again, we're lacking in a lot of things, but we utilize a lot of American things. And I guess
Here it is. Okay, you ready for this?
Degrassi.
All you viewers.
Oh, the loon, the magical loon.
Yeah. So, do you remember
That should be my ringtone.
Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Bob and Doug McKenzie were actually, you know what? The first time I ever heard
really,
they're Canadian
war
heroes.
heroes. Yeah.
Colleen is talking about Degrassi episodes, and I'll agree with Colleen that Degrassi Junior High was the best of all the series.
That's fair.
I'll die on that hill. The Kids of Degrassi was kind of not bad.
I agree.
But Degrassi Junior High with Spike and Joey Jeremiah, with his Mach 2. Remember his Mustang?
Nope.
You don't remember? He had a white Mach 2.
I never watched it.
You never watched Degrassi?
I never watched Degrassi. No.
Were you watching Coronation Street or something?
I didn't have Coronation Street. You know what? I didn't really have any of those channels. I grew up in the country, and we didn't really have all those. We had pirate TV, pirate satellite. So I was watching HBO.
Oh, we had 3 channels on a cloudy day. We had 3 channels because we had CTV was it CTV originally?
Yeah, CTV.
You got to get old Degrassi. Those kids are now 53.
Oh
my God, the
Jesus.
Degrassi kids are in their 50s. Then again, we're getting pretty close to that.
That's funny. Yeah, that's pretty close.
But
yeah, no, I didn't have those channels. I watched HBO and MTV.
Oh, hey, was it the big satellite dish?
Yeah, the really big ones. It's
with the fuzzy porn.
What do you know about the fuzzy porn?
I'm just saying that. My guess is, tell Jay I'm watching you 2 characters. Carrie Oriat. AUR.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Carrie. We could have some talks here. You should be jumping in. You could have a good time right here.
We might have to do a TikTok live studio one because we can get people to jump in.
That'd be good.
It's handy.
That'd be fun. I don't know anything about it. That's called Canadian porn because of the snow, right?
It was all snowy.
And if you're looking really close, you're like, I think that's a girl, right?
But you don't remember, like, there'd be a time. I remember a buddy of mine. His dad had the big dish, and you had to turn it from in the house.
Oh yeah,
to aim it.
You have a little dial, and you turn it to the right coordinates, and the whole thing would kind of rotate and move, right?
Right.
And it would catch onto the satellite. Yeah.
And he figured out that if you turn it to a certain angle, there was, I don't know what there was for a channel, but something had whatever 80s porn looked like. And from my recollection it was like if you were between two channels and, that's what you were watching. And we thought it was the coolest thing because every once in a while you see like a nip and like, oh, look at that.
Oh, what was that?
Ooh.
That wasn't Scooby-Doo.
We didn't know what we were watching, but that was the best, the most badass kid you knew. Dad had a big satellite dish.
You got at that age, right? So
we didn't even know what we were looking at. We're like, why is this exciting? Like,
yeah.
And I believe that back in the 80s there was also plot to these. Like,
What's
I'm here
plot?
to fix your TV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is there any way else I can pay you?
Yeah.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
You know, that's geez. There's that, you know, if you want to talk about Canadian stuff, there was an actor named Nathan Fillion.
Why do I know who Nathan Fillion is?
You know, Firefly or The Rookie, right?
I just started watching The Rookie. Believe it or not.
Fantastic series. You know,
yeah.
You just started watching. Oh, it gets pretty freaking good. But at one point in time, he did a little stand-up thing where he's a carpenter and he walks into the girl's house, and it's called Nailing Your Wife.
Okay.
Right. And it's like, oh no, what's this gonna be? It's like, can I pay you some other way? And he ends up accidentally shooting her in the head with the nail gun. And that's the joke, right?
Oh my God.
Wife. Yeah.
Oh, see, it took a second because I'm old and
yeah.
stupid. Sometimes I don't get the jokes.
So I sent it to a friend of mine, and he was like, "Dude, I opened that at work."
Here's the thing: if I send you anything ever, don't open it at work or in front of your kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they can say, "What does that mean, Dad?"
Yeah.
It means Quentin's a bad person. I probably shouldn't be associating with him.
Yeah, somebody's going to hell, and it isn't me.
Right.
So yeah.
But we had when it comes to production of things and shows and movies, we lack in a lot of things. Like we're not going to just say no more American anything because we like what we like. Thanks to Amazon, we buy what we want. And you think people are going to stop doing that? No, they're going to be heroes in the grocery store reading their labels to make sure that their nuts came from Canada, which no nuts come from Canada.
Exactly.
If you want peanuts, where are you going to buy them?
Yeah, exactly. Not here.
Right.
But I will say, as I said to you earlier, if we really want to end the trade war and really want to kick them in the balls, to say the least, just turn off Pornhub.
I looked into that
because it's a Canadian company.
Could you imagine?
Just all of a sudden, IP addresses are all blocked for the United States. Sorry, you can't have this anymore. And it's just like, oh my God, they'd probably turn to the most productive state in the world all of a sudden.
What do you think would be the bigger hit to everybody if TikTok went down or if Pornhub went down?
Well, it'd be silent. Nobody would be
quiet.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, hey, you're. What do you mean you're done for the day? Well, I'm actually done for the week. I did my whole week's worth in the first day. I was just all done.
What's with all these 20-minute breaks? Could you imagine? Okay. It's the work from home people, I'm guessing, because how much
all of a sudden they'd come out, they'd be like, they'd walk outside and be like, oh,
what the hell's that big ball of fire out there?
Oh, it hurts the eyes. What is that? It'd be like that Family Guy one where Quagmire comes out, right? And he's all just like, hey, how you doing? And he turns, he's got one huge muscular arm.
Oh my God, the balance would come back.
Yeah.
Like, again, what do you think would affect people more if TikTok was gone or if Pornhub shut down? And let's be realistic.
I don't know. You put that to a poll here. People who are watching, what do you think would have a bigger impact on productivity here? Taking one or the other out.
Can I do a poll on this thing?
This is me
learning stuff. I don't know. Speaking of polls. Sorry. There we go. But no, like you have something like that, which is, I would guess, the most legit of all those sites. And I'm sure there's more than just that one.
I don't know. I don't know any of them. So
you told me about Pornhub. I had to look it up.
I'm surprised you didn't know about that one.
No.
Everyone knows about that one because they put out an annual thing about the top searches because they track all the analytics, and it's hilarious.
Like searches within?
Within, yeah.
Oh my God, I want to know.
And like what I think, what was it? One of the top searches in most Republican states is my husband gay or something?
Really? Wouldn't you
Yeah.
know it if your husband was gay? Okay,
Oh, guess not.
top Pornhub search 2024 just wrapped up.
Yeah, so 2024. And
We
I'll
know
tell
what's
you
interesting. All I typed in was top PO and it
it filled it in already for you, eh?
wow,
AI is smarter than you
2024 year in
think.
review. This is okay, guys. Let's see what's happening in Pornhub
Let's
because
check out
that's the kind
Alabama.
of show we're running today.
Let's look at
Year in review.
Alabama.
Top
Yeah.
searches and porn stars. Okay. Okay. Whoa. You know what? I'm just going to share this instead of me reading this because it's.
Oh, hello, Shadow Band. Here we come.
I don't know. This is news, right? Like I don't think you're going to shadow ban for this. Hang on a second. Okay. Here we go.
You're absolutely gonna block that.
Most search terms in 2024. I don't know what the first one is. I don't know what the third one is. Anime. Is that cartoons?
I don't know what any of those are.
Oh, shut up. Cosplay, trans game. Wow. 3D? There's 3D? Like, okay, wait a minute.
I don't know. I read my Psalms every night. I don't know what you're looking at night.
Oh, shut the hell up. Okay, can you pronounce the first word? It looks Chinese.
Most searched. Is that the word you wanted?
Oh, here.
Yeah. No, I don't know what that means. So
hentai.
Hentai. Sounds very Japanese-ish.
I feel very
actually it sounds Ukrainian. Right, that sounds really Ukrainian.
It's definitely not Ukrainian. But considering that this is a thing, like I don't know what some of these words are.
You should be typing in the top search ones for like Alabama or something if you really want something interesting.
Alabama?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that it's not any worse. I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
But like I said, when you've got things
I don't
like this.
I don't want to go to jail. So.
No, neither do I. No,
I'm not going back. You're not taking me
I'm not going back. Here's the thing. We're talk about messing with it. Let's just say this turned into a thing, more than a thing that it already is. Could you imagine like a crime that's just really inconvenient? Like imagine someone breaking into your house and just stealing the platter out of your microwave.
Yeah, that's like the most inconvenient theft ever. Yeah.
Right. Like, could you imagine? Let's just say Canada said, you know what, screw you. We supply you guys a lot of power. And instead of turning it off, just like flick it off and on. So just everybody has to reset their microwave.
Yeah, random times. Yeah.
It just,
no, a friend, one of my clients actually said the best. What we need to do is cut them off at Super Bowl. Last 2 minutes. Done.
Right? Can you imagine?
Boom, gone. Beyonce's up on stage and shut it down.
Dude, there would be shots fired. I have a feeling there would be shots fired.
That would take us right to war. We'd go right to war on that.
Molly, how's it going? Yeah, if you shut the power off in the last 2 minutes of Super Bowl, okay, who would be more upset if the power got shut off in the last 2 minutes of Super Bowl, or the second minute of the halftime show?
Oh, that's fair. Or, the halftime show will probably be the biggest one. Actually, if you really want to make its impact, you shut it down during the commercials of the halftime show, right?
That would get me.
Yeah, and you get Mexico not to send any more guacamole or or whatever it is. Yeah, what's the national dip of Super Bowl? It's
there's a national dip of Super Bowl?
Yeah, there's a national dip of the Super Bowl of the NFL. Yeah. What is it? It's
guacamole?
No, it's not guacamole.
It's definitely not hummus.
What's the It's hummus. It's hummus. That's what it is.
Hummus is the national.
Hummus is the national dip of the NFL.
Isn't hummus a Middle Eastern dish?
Yeah, it's
makes sense. I guess that's about
as
American
as now. They kind of bought out.
American is apple pie and hummus.
So, yeah. Hummus.
Are you both doing the?
No.
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're getting this thing rolling here. We're trying to figure out why we're being so stubborn as far as being Canadian, saying that we're not going to buy any American goods, which we're going to.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to. So,
Well, here's the thing. And we can live without a lot of stuff, but the problem is we live in a society where we have choice to have anything we want. You can buy the most messed up stuff on Amazon if you really want to, and you're going to buy
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So,
but it all comes
let's-
from China, anyways. So it doesn't count.
like,
buy
do you
it
get
at
a
Temu if you
discount? Like,
wanted
do
to.
you have a cousin building that shit?
Not on Temu, I do. You know,
I bet you do.
I talked to my cousin. You,
Your cousin, you. But okay, simple things like vacations. Are we all going to holiday in Canada from now on?
well, we can go to Cuba.
That's not Canada.
No, but it's not America either.
Neither is Mexico.
Well, yeah,
But-
but they take American money.
Yeah, they would.
Cuba would
would.
take Canadian.
Cuba takes Canadian. I remember being in Cuba.
They'd
They
be
took
okay with
Canadian.
that.
But I mean, the things that people are saying that they're going to boycott and not do this and not do this and not do that.
Sure, you are.
You're sure you're going to. Like, I have a list. Like, you're not going to vacation in Canada. Let's face it. You might
Yeah.
once in your lifetime, and you're going to go everywhere else the rest of your years.
Yeah.
You're going to
Well,
stop buying.
you know why? It's freaking expensive to travel here.
Yeah, but hey, I thought you were being patriotic.
Yeah. So in 2020 during COVID, I went over to Halifax.
Mhm.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, I was Googling how much would it cost to go to Dubai. Less than to go to Nova Scotia. It was
But-
less.
But do they have the same things that Nova Scotia has?
I think they have a lot more things than Nova Scotia does.
They
you
do.
know? Like, I think it'd be
But
kind of
again-
a bigger thing, you know.
But one of us has to take one of us needs to take the position of 100% patriotic. I'm only going to buy Canadian and only support Canadians. And the other one has to say, bullshit, you're not going to.
Oh, I don't think we can do that. I think we have to alternate with that one.
Okay, we can alternate with
Because
that one.
there's no way. There's no way. So if you need a new car, what would you buy?
Jesus.
Tesla? Would you buy Tesla?
No.
Why not?
I know.
Because it's American?
No, because they're. I actually ordered the Chevy Silverado electric 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never got it.
No, the thing doesn't exist yet. They have
Yeah.
my money. They have a deposit, but
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah.
I'm not going to get the truck, and I could care less because I have friends that have had electric vehicles, and the electric vehicle is lovely, but the guys that have electric vehicles probably won't buy another one.
Probably
They
not.
have no intention of buying another one.
Unless they're only using it for like puddle jumping, essentially, right?
This
Moving
guy used it
around.
as a work truck. He had the Ford Lightning as a work truck,
Okay.
and he goes, "It's neat, but I won't buy
Yeah.
another one because they're a fine truck, but
They're fast as hell.
oh yeah,
Like they have two modes, stop and go. That's it.
right. Well, you know how on my street there's two entrances to my street, right? Because it's
Yeah.
a bay. He said, "Hey, let's go for a quick ride." I'm like, "Well, I don't have a lot of time. Plus, it's so early in the process. Charging time, yeah, charging time is like 30 hours on a regular
What?
charge.
No, we're not in the fast charge stations.
But if you're plugging it in at home, right? You're
Yeah.
looking at, I think it's about 2% an hour is what you're getting from a standard plug-in.
Really?
It's not good.
Yeah.
Like a fast charge, it's about 45 minutes to an hour,
Right.
like at a charging station. So still, it's not fantastic, and they don't have enough charging stations. But he took me. We went out the entrance. I'm like, dude, my garage door is open. He goes, don't worry, we're not going to be long. He punched it at the exit of our street.
Yeah.
Went down park to the next exit. We were doing $120 before we got to the second entrance, and that's a block.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
They're
the fast is
they're
cool.
crazy fast. They're crazy fast.
They're crazy fast, but I mean, everybody that I know that has one says that as soon as it gets to be, well, I guess like anything, you must look at ways to make it better each year. If they can improve them, I think that the best thing I've seen was there was a group of loggers out of BC with Edison Motors. Have you ever heard of Edison Motors? But they built these guys designed a logging truck, which was a electric truck. It runs on the same principle as a
Edison
train.
was Edison like somebody who made something electrical or something?
We had the Edison twins. You had another
Yeah.
CBC original.
Yeah.
Edison invented the light bulb, didn't he?
No, the Edison twins invented the light bulb.
Right. And they were Canadian.
Yeah, Thomas Edison was just caught his knockoff.
Great grandfather.
Yeah.
But no, these guys designed a truck. It was a logging truck that worked on the same principle as a train, because a train is technically an electric vehicle. Okay.
Okay, I'll
So-
follow you on that one.
Oh yeah, a train runs a diesel generator that runs an electric motor.
Okay.
So that's how that works. It just kind of idles. So these guys designed figure out a way to use ocean salt water to make the batteries. But they're going to have to once they run out of all the precious minerals that we have.
Well, that's fair.
So they designed a logging truck that runs, it's an electric drivetrain that runs a diesel generator under the hood. And because the drivetrain isn't connected to the engine, it's considered an electric vehicle. And you're getting
Okay.
like 1,400 kilometers out of a fill. Now, Ram just is introducing what's called the Ram Charger, which is exactly that. It's a Pentastar V6 generator under the hood that just idles. All it does is idles and charges those batteries. And you'll get
Really?
about
Okay.
1,400 kilometers out of a fill.
Right.
And because the engine is not connected to the drivetrain,
Right.
it's considered an electric vehicle.
And it's more efficient.
Way more efficient. And it
Yeah.
runs, and you have heat, and you have all these things. Because electric will lose 30% of its power.
Just through heat
heat in the winter.
generation. Yeah.
Right. So take the best of both worlds. Have an incredibly efficient vehicle. It doesn't have to be 100% electric.
So here's a song for you. You'll like this one. Can you pinpoint this one?
We don't get flagged. Is that the Edison Twins song?
It's the Edison twins. Yeah. Classics,
The Edison Twins,
classics.
like we had with the Edison Twins, we had My Secret Identity.
Yep.
We had some shows. Fraggle Rock, I think, was Canadian.
What? No way.
I believe it was a Jim Henson thing, but maybe it was just always on CBC.
No, what's some
Actually,
good-
you know what was super cool? Like, remember a few years ago when I went to Toronto and did the game show?
the game show. Yeah.
So it's a CTV show, but they filmed it in CBC studios. And I
Right.
remember walking through CBC studios, and they had pictures of the Friendly Giant, Mr. Dress Up,
Oh,
like
yeah, there
all
we
of these
go, yeah.
icons that filmed in
Yeah.
there. I'm like, holy shit, this is my childhood I'm walking by. Like these are
100%. Yeah.
the people that I was like mesmerized by when I was a child.
Friendly
And
Giant was great. Look up. Look way, up.
way up. But Friendly Giant, and we had good stuff, but it was very low budget. Like our Canadian content is not close to what you're getting in the States.
No.
So if you're going to say, I'm only going to support Canada, really? What are you going to watch? You're not going to get Netflix? No more
Maybe they
Netflix.
should.
No more Disney Plus. No more Prime. You think your mechanic's going to stop buying parts out of the States? No.
Well, okay. So do you know any current Canadian sci-fi shows?
I wish I watched a lot of TV.
Yeah, you can name one. I know you can.
I can name a Canadian sci-fi show.
No, in general. Letterkenny.
But Letterkenny was an indie thing that turned into a show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Canadian. Well, what about
Or Shoresy. Shoresy.
Shoresy's good. Kim's Grocery.
Oh, that's classic. Yeah. Yeah. Or Corner Gas.
And Corner Gas is a phenomenon that I believe only speaks to Canadians.
Yeah.
Where you look at a show like Trailer Park Boys, and somehow it became, hey Tasha, how's it going?
It became classic everywhere.
How did Trailer Park Boys become such a huge phenomenon? Because I've tried to watch it.
How was it a Nova Scotia thing and nobody really gets it's Nova Scotia?
Really?
Yeah. Like, you just think it's a trailer park, right?
Well,
You know,
we have trailer parks around here.
Yeah, but then you say it's Nova Scotia and people are like, really?
But the thing is, Trailer Park Boys, I think that it spoke to the it's going. I think that Trailer Park Boys was so basic and raw that
Yeah.
you watched it to see if it could get any worse. And it kind of got better.
Well, it definitely got worse too, right?
Speaking of Asians, did they have any in Trailer Park Boys?
I don't know.
They
Did
had
they?
J Rock. They had the
J
white
Rock wasn't
rapper.
Asian. He wasn't Asian though.
J Rock and the Rock Pile.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any. Were there any?
I don't think so. That's kind of racist.
No, well, how many trailer park? How many? Okay, you tell me. How many cousins you have were living in a trailer park?
Oh, they won't live in. No.
There you go. They just won't live
Oh no,
above the lawn.
they most definitely will. People are going to
They
live
probably
anywhere
rather live
nowadays.
above the laundromat, though.
Have you seen the price of homes nowadays? Do
Dude,
you know do you know any real estate agents that you could talk to about how much homes are nowadays?
dude, I am a real estate agent, and it's
I saw Montreal went up like 30% last year. So I mean, like that doesn't that show you the state of things, right?
here's the thing. I believe Trailer Park Boys was close to where I came from. You're from St. John? No kidding.
Crazy.
But it was the genius show. Like I had
Yeah.
an idea for a show because I dabble in storytelling a bit, and my whole thing was based on, and it might happen. Like, don't steal this from me, but it was the fact that we have like a seasonal campsite, right?
Yeah.
I was going to call it seasonals because seasonal campers are way different than cottage owners.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we're just a few levels down, but nobody gives a shit what you're camping in.
Yeah.
And it's a total community. And I think I could actually develop something with that where
It's kind of like it's like worse than Trailer Park Boys, eh?
But a little classier because it's families, but you always have, the guy that's loud, the girl that's this, and it's for some reason we believe that we're just as good as the cabin people because we don't have to pay because we didn't have to mow the lawn. Like it's fun and I like it, but I don't.
You didn't have to spend $700,000 on your cabin. You
can spend 20 grand on a camper
and
enjoy it.
Right. You have no heat, no running water, no bathrooms.
Name a Canadian.
You're enjoying the great outdoors.
Name a Canadian singer that's still singing. Don't say Michael Bublé because he's king. So name another one that's rolling right now.
Oh, is Bryan Adams still singing?
No.
He's doing photography, I guess, now, right?
Sure. But I mean, we don't have a lot of Canadian stuff.
Chantal Kreviazuk.
Is she still singing?
She's still singing.
Is anybody listening to it?
Yep.
Would you go see her in concert?
Yep.
Really?
That's like classic 90s, man.
It is classic 90s, but I think there's nothing that says we would choose this over that. Shania Twain. Is Shania
Nickelback.
Okay, you know what? Get off me with Nickelback. They're phenomenal. And I will argue all day long that Nickelback was a solid rock band until they got worse. And then they got a little bit better.
Until they got noticed.
Until they played it every third song on the radio. That was part of it. But we do have the potential for a lot of good stuff. But we're still going to go see like Taylor Swift or who's coming to... I think Jason Aldean's coming nearby.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson too.
He's Canadian.
Yep.
He doesn't sing though.
No, but I'd like to see him sing. That'd be interesting.
Could you imagine?
It'd be like William Shatner singing.
William Shatner singing. He doesn't really sing. He says a lot of words. He
actually has an album out.
Tell me you own that album.
I do.
Why? You don't like Taylor Swift? You know what? Here's the thing about Taylor Swift. Hey?
Go ahead.
You don't like Taylor Swift. Okay. As a guy who enjoys music, and I'm a rock guy, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I can give the girl credit. She can write a lot of songs. She's a good songwriter and she's entertaining. I think that we feel the same about Taylor Swift that lots of people felt about Michael Jackson in the 80s. It's okay. Enough.
People like them until they all of a sudden become mainstream and they become really popular.
Well, they become they become popular, but it's not that she's bad. It's just not my.
It's just everywhere. People like it when artists are more like the big in Japan sort of concept, right?
Who's big in Japan?
Well, you haven't heard that term, big in Japan. It's like they didn't make it in their home country, but they got really popular in Japan.
Oh, like David Hasselhoff being big in Germany.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
There's like you get the guitar group, the Ventures. They were big in Japan, right? Things like that.
Okay, let's go this way. Overrated Canadian bands.
Nickelback. Oh, okay. No,
Nickelback's not
that's a low
overrated.
blow. That's a
Nickelback
Loverboy.
still gets the
Loverboy.
flack that they've always had. But there's a band that I'll
Loverboy.
say, yeah, that's an 80s thing, right? And
That
Loverboy was big for a
counts.
minute.
Our Lady Peace.
Our Lady Peace was a solid band. I Mother Earth was a solid band. Like we had
Alanis
some good ones.
Morissette.
You know what's funny? I was listening to Alanis today, and she was good. Like
Okay,
Alanis
can you
Morissette,
name one? You name one then.
overrated Canadian band,
Yeah.
Tragically Hip.
You take that out of your fucking mouth, you know.
Here's why, and I'll tell you why. I liked the Tragically Hip. Your favorite was a hip. Okay, I enjoyed the Tragically Hip until I saw them in concert. And I went to the Day for Night tour in Winnipeg, and it was the most depressing, lame. It was just bad. I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. They would be they would have been a fantastic small venue band,
Mm.
but they weren't an arena band. And I was really disappointed with what I saw.
Fair.
I was like, ugh, this is really. I stopped liking them as much once I saw them live, and that
Okay.
can happen with bands.
How about Great Big Sea?
Great Big Sea, they were in Brandon, what, 30 times?
A few times, yeah.
They just kept on coming here.
Yeah.
Great Big Sea had that East Coast feel, and they were fun.
They were a great band to listen to.
Yeah, and they didn't try to be anything that they never tried to be different than what they were. They just that's what you were going to
True to
get.
roots. Yep, exactly.
Right.
Bare Naked Ladies.
I love Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah.
They were. I would go see
fun
them.
and cool. Yeah.
They were fun and silly, and they didn't deviate from that. They stayed being fun and silly. They had the odd ballad type thing.
Yeah.
But Bare Naked Ladies was a solid band, and they were. I think that they're probably the most underrated Canadian act.
I agree. I remember even before they even took off, and they were just kind of like a second-rate second-rate opening band.
Mm-hmm.
And people still loved them then, just because they were just fun and didn't take it too seriously.
And their name of their band was genius because they were trying to get people to go to the bars to watch them.
Yeah,
Bare Naked Ladies tonight.
That works every single time.
It does.
Single time.
My whole thing was, if I was going to name a band, I had a buddy in here who they had a band, they were changing the name, and my genius name for a band was Meat Draw.
Yeah, there you go.
Meat Draw tonight, perfect. Everybody shows up.
Yeah, or Ladies' Night, right?
Ladies' Night would be good too.
Yep.
But no, I think that. What are your thoughts? Like, do you think that Canadians, like, there's every reason for Canadians to be very touchy and very worried about what could possibly happen, like on a serious note, but is there any piece of reality that says that we're going to just stop and cut them off? I just can't see it.
No, it's not going to happen. There's quite simply too much trade. I mean, we had free trade for how many years? The free trade agreement was how many years, right?
We still do. We still have that.
Kind of. It's being renegotiated and new concepts brought up, but
right. But I mean,
Trump changed all that before. So
yeah, but thing is, Trump, the guy, I'll give him this. He's a staunch negotiator. He knows what he's doing, and he's playing a game of chess. I think he knows exactly where he's trying to get us to move.
I don't think he's playing chess. I think he's playing like 3D chess, because most people are thinking political, but he's thinking more business.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Like
he's way ahead of things already. He already knows what he wants before the negotiation.
Right. So when you have somebody who is focused on what he wants and is willing to do whatever it takes to get it, you got to remember, he's got 4 years. That's it. He doesn't get any more.
Does he?
Well, he's a president. He's not a king.
Does he?
What are you saying?
Why is there only 4 years? You mean it is a precedence, but can that be changed and overturned?
Well, could he do that? Could he do that?
That actually has been some debate whether that is something that he can do.
Can he get more than 4 years? Tasha, with the way the rules are right now, he can do 2 terms, and a term is 4 years. The president can't sit for more than 2 terms. Prime ministers, on the other hand, can sit for as long as they can. So no, he
So here's the thing:
maybe
it's only an amendment to the Constitution that
what?
that a president can only serve 2 terms. It's only an amendment to the Constitution.
So can you get rid of an amendment?
Well,
Technically,
you technically could because it is an amendment. You know,
could you imagine? Justice still stepping down. He's supposed to be.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. Isn't it
He'll
amazing?
step down. He'll step down. 100%.
He'll step down, but here's the thing. And he already said that the clock's ticking on his last day. But isn't it amazing how Justin Trudeau, it took him 8 years to act like a prime minister. Suddenly he's acting like a prime minister, like right now.
Yeah.
But also how somehow he's got the support from people saying, holy shit, you're finally doing something.
Yeah, his support's gone way up.
The support's gone way up. Like even your F Trudeau folks are like, dude, do something. Like suddenly we're relying on him to do something.
Yeah.
And I think that when he's in his, the 11th hour, maybe he'll leave with a bang. Maybe he'll actually do something between now and then. Here's the thing. Although we doubt he could do it, he could do some stuff. He could actually do something. And he could drop something that just does amazing things for Canada, or do something that just screws us.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this whole thing
that could also be ended too. That could also be stopped or turned over. That's the nice thing. But whenever these things have come out, they've been like catastrophic for a country. We got to stop this right now, and new government gets in power and it doesn't really stop it. You really have to wonder how catastrophic was it and who planned it ahead of time.
Well, let's look at this. So far, what has happened? What's changed since Trump started for us?
For us?
Yeah.
Threats. Just threats.
Yeah, but what's happened?
As in nothing.
Nothing.
No, just threats of tariffs.
So
that's it. Even realistically, even the request that for increased border control and everything wasn't a Trump thing. That was a Biden thing initially.
And this isn't even a border issue.
No.
This is a resource issue.
It's a resource issue. Yep.
And you're playing the cup game, right? The shell game, where everybody's looking over here. This is the focus, and we have more natural resources here
than anyone except for Russia.
We're kind of like Wakanda, with our precious metals. And if they want their EVs to go and China just cut them off, this is their only other option.
Now, conversely, you can also look at it this way. Because it is a war of resources, it means one thing is for certain. No nukes.
Right.
You don't nuke your resources.
No, I don't think it would ever come to that.
Nukes are just way too Cold War. People aren't going to use it anymore. And there are much more effective ways to cripple a country now.
Well, they're trying to do it with the economic tariffs, but the reality is these aren't nothing's happening.
No. Because they're threats. We're in economic Cold War is all we're in right now.
Right. And if they were to hit us with the tariffs, well, fine. Americans are paying them anyway. So we're shipping less stuff out.
Well, that's the thing that people don't quite understand. People have seen I've seen so many videos where they're talking to just like blue collar whatever guy down wherever, and he thinks tariffs are fantastic. It's like you realize you'd have to pay for it. So no, Canada will pay for it.
No, we don't.
That's not how they work here. And even on things like threads, I've seen a ton of discussions over tariffs, and people are like, "Yep, we're going to make Canada pay for all these things." And actual economists are popping up and going, "No, that's not how it works." And they're like, "What do you know? You don't know anything about this." Like, I'm an economist. I know what I'm talking about. No, you're not. You're lying. And well, it's unreal, actually.
Molly, where are you from? I know you're from the States. Molly's she's American. And she's been on here a couple times. Like, why is it that when there's a threat against a country that everybody thinks that we're the ones paying, we'll pay the price? She's from Wisconsin.
There.
Why do I say
kind of like Canada? It's kind of like Canada.
Sorry, Molly. I had to say Wisconsin.
It's kind of like Canada there.
Wisconsin is kind of like Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Minnesota. You know, it feels very Canada-ish. It's
I think
cold,
Wisconsin folks
snow.
would enjoy Canadians. We're kind of like cousins.
Yeah,
We're cousins.
pretty
That's the
much.
thing.
Yeah.
Canadians are cousins. We're your neighbor. We're allies. We're your buddies. Like, why on earth target the people that are hanging out with you all the time? Like, we're good.
Yeah. It's kind of, it doesn't make any sense, you know,
But when people don't understand the tariff part of it, that's where it becomes a yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I think that they don't understand because they think we're paying it. No. We're just going to be shipping less stuff out. Yet we will ship it to other people. There's options, right?
Yep.
And I think that Trump thinks that he's got us by the nuts, which for a lot of things he does.
He kind of does. But, you know, try rebuilding Los Angeles right now.
They're going to do you know another major thing that we have? You might have told me, or a client told me, concrete, like cement.
Really?
Cement is a major export from us.
Really? That's interesting.
Big one. So, okay, our lumber, our cement, our minerals.
Yeah.
LA is gone, man. Like, it burnt.
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to need?
They're not going to be building that for a couple of years. Not with insurance getting their hands on the things.
Didn't know that. What didn't you know, Molly? That we export most of your cement to you? Yeah, it's a little crazy. Like
25% of uranium too.
What do you use uranium for?
What do you use uranium for?
You're the Asian. You tell me what it's good for.
For blowing things up.
The cement. Is that what uranium's used for?
For blowing things up?
I don't know. I've never used. I don't have any uranium around the house. Yeah,
it's for the nuclear power, right? And the Americans are really gearing up. Like 3 Mile Island is fired up again, right?
3 Mile Island is being fired up. And here's the thing about 3 Mile Island. You've got Bill Gates who's firing up 3 Mile Island for his AI machine.
Yep.
Which is insane. But I mean, go ahead and use it.
But you just had TikTok release an AI.
Well, TikTok did?
TikTok just released an AI.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on. I want to find out. Do this. What do we? In 2021, Canada exported $526 million in cement, making it the 6th largest exporter of cement in the world. The main destination for cement exports from Canada are United States, Jamaica, Bermuda, Peru, and Brazil. The amount of cement exported from Canada amounted to X tons. Yeah, like we produce way more cement than anybody. Like for North America, we're the guys.
Yep.
So
it is a quick Molly. Radioactive element used in nuclear power plants, medical isotopes, and defense used in marine propulsion. They take 4 kilograms of uranium, enriched uranium, and they put it into nuclear sub, and the thing will run for 30 years without refueling.
That's
impressive. That's pretty effective.
Cars. There's so many honest, hardworking Mexicans working in Arizona and other states. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are working there that are from the southern states. LA will need all of the honest, cheap Mexican land workers. You're not wrong, Colleen. Yes, they're going to need them. So. Yep. However, ICE is going to send them home. That's the reality.
Yeah,
and we have companies here that are choosing to hire people not from here because they do get subsidies for their wages.
Yep, quite a few companies.
Yeah, and here's the thing: when I look at the workers, whether they're in Mexico or from anywhere else, I look at it this way: if I had a DUI, I can't cross the border, right?
Right.
So if I did cross the border and I got caught at the border or on the other side, I should be sent home, right?
Correct.
Because I can't legally be here.
Yep.
So I get it. People are crossing the line and working there, and people are taking advantage of these people that are kind of stuck having to work under the table. But if I can't legally be here because I'm a criminal, because if you could legally do it, you would legally do it.
Absolutely.
You would legally go there.
Yep.
Like if I was on a student visa to I don't know where China. Let's just say I was on a student visa to China or London, and my student visa ran out. I have to go home.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm breaking the law. And if I'm breaking
Here
the
they
law,
protest it and they say it's not fair. We shouldn't have to go back. We want permanent residency.
why shouldn't I be able to? Why should I? But do you think I could do that and say, well, I shouldn't have to go back from London to Canada?
No, of course not.
Well, it's the same, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently, anyways. So
Right.
So why is it a thing? Why is it a thing?
I support anybody who wants to move to another country, follow the rules
Legally.
of the land, and do it legally.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. We also have a major problem here. You want to talk about the housing problem? We have over 10 million temporary visas in Canada that are about to expire in the next 18 months.
That's great.
Now, here's the problem. As being in real estate,
10 million?
10 million that are about to expire.
There's only 41 million people here.
Add another 10 million.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We have 10 million in our country. That's quite a bit, which is fine. Now, what happens when 10 million, or let's just say 5 million, have to go home?
Right.
They have to sell their houses, right?
Yep.
Now, let's just say go to real kind of micro, what would Brandon's share of that be? Let's just say it's 200 families.
That's fair. Yeah.
And we have way more than that here. So what happens when 200 homes hit the market like that?
Yeah. All of a sudden, supply goes through the roof and pricing
goes down.
Yeah.
Right. So suddenly your home that you've been building equity in, the price goes down because you're not going to get that for it because there's 30 other homes in the area.
Yeah.
So this could be an economic breaker for us too, in that when everybody wants everybody to leave, but when they leave, we're stuck with a glutton of inventory. Which
unsold
again,
homes.
I'm not going to complain. Like the reality is, yes, that'd be more for
everyone
else
else
to sell.
But look at the price of them. You look at the price of them, right? So you're on TikTok. Do you follow the Millennial Moron?
I probably do.
So he compares the price of real Canadian real estate versus European castles.
I saw that. I have seen that guy.
So ironically, I'm going to pick on real estate agents just for a second.
Go ahead. I'm one.
He's talked a number of times how real estate agents will send him messages. You have no idea how real estate works. You don't understand a thing about equity. He's like, well, I don't know. I think a tear down home in Toronto worth $3 million is kind of similar to a castle with 27 acres and a vineyard for $3 million.
Right. So let's look at it. Let's look at this in a more condensed version that we would understand because we live here, right? So here, let's just say an average 2-bedroom modern home built, say, in the last 20 years is worth, like, let's just say 2 or 3 bedroom, attached garage, nice yard. Tasha, I do. And I can't talk about it on a live stream.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good one to talk about.
But I do. I've heard some things, and it's disgusting and it's sad. Shoot me a whisper on Twitch, and I'll fill you in what I know. So anyway, going back to Brandon or Calgary, because I think Colleen's still in Calgary. So let's just take your average 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house that's been built in the last 20 years. Let's just say that house was worth built it 25 years ago, it would have been worth, say, 150 grand back 25 years ago to build it. That house is now worth $500,000. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Like my mom,
good appreciation.
Your house, your house is about the right kind of thing. Yours is probably in the 4s, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it'd be probably about, hard to say, probably about 450 now.
Right. So it's 450. It was probably built for about 180.
Yeah.
Back when it was built, which is fair.
I believe that. Yep.
Okay. So she's got a condo, 2-bed, 2-bath, $300,000. Now, let's look at what my parents bought in Texas. Okay. Yep. My dad's passed, but mom's there in Texas, and they bought this place, I would say 10 years ago. 2-bedroom, gated community, attached garage, slab, I believe, and backs onto a golf course. Her backyard is the 7th fairway of the Monte Cristo golf course. Okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
Bought it for like 140 grand.
Right.
today, just because I saw the tax bill, 156. That
Really?
house, that property would be worth $400,000 here.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Uh-huh. I am, because
That's
I
crazy.
open mom's mail when I'm there. I'm like, here's the tax bill. But here's the thing, that's a realistic number as far as equity goes. So
Yeah.
what we're looking at is almost a artificial market
Yeah,
that's being
speculative.
pushed a
Yeah.
little bit. It is.
The number one industry in Canada is real estate.
It is now, and Colleen's mortgage free. But Colleen, how long ago you bought your condo? About 10 years ago, didn't you? Colleen's a gem. I've known her forever. She's an absolute gem. She's mortgage free. So again, having that and being able to own your home, like Colleen, you're probably in the top 1% of people that will ever actually own their property. Like I'm about 7 years away from being done.
Okay.
My 30, you bought it for 34,000. That can't be right.
What?
Check your typing on that, Colleen. Did you say 30? There's no way. Oh, you're third place. I'm like, holy shit, you bought it for $34,000. That's good. That's good equity. But here's the thing. She actually got to buy her place. She owns her place. She lives in a neighborhood she loves, and she will own her property. There, sadly, sometimes people punch way above their weight class. They're buying things that are far more expensive than they need, or their first home is too expensive. Yeah. And when people say, I'll never buy a home, yeah, you will. You can buy something, but everybody who drives a Mercedes probably had a Ford at one time.
Yep.
Walk before you run.
You got to
get into the market. Yeah, own something, and then now you're in, and you can continually build up. But when your first home is $450,000,
that's tough.
How? Yep. And again, I
big down payment or some equity or some help or just a ton of debt.
34 was a TYP. What the hell is a TYP? 34 was a TYP. Colleen, I don't know what TYP means. TYP. But when you have I think what happens is people bite off more than they can chew, but we also buy a lot more stuff than we used to. So there was a time when, like, here's the thing, the numbers work. A typical couple on minimum wage can't afford a $250,000 house.
Really?
Yep. You could buy you could buy $250,000 house with two people earning minimum wage, provided that you don't have here we go. First place was $64,000 and $64,000 in Winnipeg. Second was $230,000 in 2007. Third and final $250,000. So Colleen bought a place for $250,000. It's probably worth more than $3,000. You're probably at higher than $3,000. But she owns it. But she also did the steps that you're supposed to do. You started with one, and you built to the next one, So that's a responsible way to do it. Everybody wants a Land Rover. Like it's
everyone starts at chapter 27 instead of starting chapter 1, right?
Yeah, like I think that we live in this age of excess, which even when we go back to just buying Canadian, you're not going to. You want the things you want, and we buy the things we want, and because we can instantly have things we want. Do you remember when Crazy was in Winnipeg?
Yep.
Okay. Remember when people were putting big stereos in their car in high school?
Oh, I was one of them. Yep.
Right. And you could buy a very limited amount of things in Brandon.
Yep.
And people would be like, I'm going to Crazy in Winnipeg. And that was a weekend trip.
Yep.
You had to travel to buy these things, and they were expensive and a complete waste of money. Yep. But you drive to Winnipeg, go to Crazy. Haven't had my nails and toes done in many years, my Botox and lips. Colleen, why are you getting Botox? Again, Colleen's a gem. You're not overdue. I'm sure you look stunning, and I haven't seen her in like years. I really gotta look at Facebook because I'm bad for not just checking in on friends. I'm such a dick. I gotta stop.
Get more social, man. Get more social.
I gotta get more social. Like, here's the thing. This is the most social I am. I'm such a hermit otherwise.
It's because you can stay home and drink all you want on social media.
I could. You still love it. You know what? I treated myself, believe it or not, to a pedicure not too long ago.
Interesting. How was it?
You
took your daughter?
No. I went because I'm bad. I'm on my feet all the time, and I'm really bad at getting ingrown toenails because I cut my toenails like I'm on a mission.
Because you're a man.
Yeah, because I'm a man. You dig in until none of the white's gone.
Yeah.
But Jesse, you know Jesse from that
Yeah.
used to barber with, right? So Jesse gets a pedicure every month and has done it every month forever. And I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get like Christ. I get waxed, dude, and that's fine. Like that's not weird, is it?
Yeah.
Is it weird to get
No.
waxed?
It's
Okay.
only weird if you hold hands with the guy you go with.
Sorry, I get sugared. It's a big
sugared.
ball of this gelatinous sugar that she puts on me and then tears it off my chest. And
I guess it
halfway takes
depends
the
where you're
fork.
getting sugared, right?
Above the belt,
Yeah.
the belt. But I got a pedicure, and first of all, great little Chinese dude, Asian. I don't know.
Was it John?
I don't know, but I'm guessing he
You had dark hair with the eyes, and he was about this tall.
had dark hair.
Yeah.
And the eyes were kind of like that.
Yeah.
My guess is he didn't have a girlfriend. If that
Yeah, I
says
know
anything.
him. Yeah, I know who he is.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get this pedicure, and this dude is like using this rasp on my foot. I'm like, holy shit, bro. He's like, you sure want me to keep going? I'm like, keep going. And it was like a
Belt sander, eh?
you ever get extra Parmesan at Olive Garden? I'm like, bro, how much is coming off? But it was actually good. And I understand why Jesse does it, because I mean, we as guys don't look after ourselves worth a shit.
No, not typically. No.
I do think that women get it done because they enjoy it. Guys,
Yeah.
it's like maintenance. It's like rotating your tires. We should probably get this shit done.
But that's the North American thing. You take a lot of other cultures, like you look at the Turkish baths in the Middle East. You know, like it's just full of dudes, right?
That's not weird.
Nope.
Paying off my mortgage is more rewarding than bi-weekly girly treats at my age. Yeah, but Colleen, you're like 45? I think you're younger than me. But to have the relief of a payment gone, like no matter what
It's
you're paying
huge.
off,
It's a huge thing. Yeah.
just having something not
It's a
coming out of your
massive
bank
weight.
account is phenomenal. And if it's your house, top 1%. And thing is,
Give me 20 years. I'll figure out what that's like.
I think I'm at 7 years. I think we have 7 years and the house is paid for. And this is also why I don't want to move, because I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
For now, but maybe when
if
it's
we
paid
didn't
off.
if we didn't move, we'd be in the last few years.
Well, I did the accelerated payments, so I've got more coming off every couple of weeks, and it builds up, and then that slams onto the principal at the end of the term, which it's nice, but it's just it's money, right? No, I think that
but is it a good idea? Because realistically, the house is kind of like a revolving credit line, right?
Oh, if you ever need it, live life simple and hammer it fast. Colleen, those are wise words.
That's what she said.
That's what Colleen said. Hammer it fast. It's you know I love you. Don't think that I'm being a jerk right now.
Love you a long time. Right?
Love you a long time. That's Jayon's line.
Yeah.
But no, when you have a when you accelerate the payments and you got that one thing that's off, and if you can actually pay that off, it's a relief. And some people feel they'll never get there, but that's because you're shooting above where you should be. And I think when we're living, and here's the thing, when we're living in times when things are going to get tighter, and there's no doubt, if anybody thinks things aren't going to get tighter, they're fooling themselves. But
had prosperity for X number of years, right?
Right. But if time's getting tough and things are going to get more expensive, are you actually going to go and spend $18 on X because it's Canadian, or $5 on it when it's American? Are you really going to say, no, I'll spend $18 on it?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
We have to be realistic about it here. Okay, so let's even look at it this way. You know, with COVID, you know, what was the big thing? Is everything was going to be made in Canada. So we were going to get, you know, the PPE, the gloves, and the masks. All that stuff's going to be made in Canada. I've got a box of new gloves and masks in my clinic. Guess where they're all made? Not Canada. China. Still, 5 years later.
You know what else is made in China?
Me.
The MAGA hats.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
The Trump hats are made in China.
If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. You know,
that's the thing. Like everything's made in China. God bless those your 8-year-old cousins that are making this stuff for us. I love them all.
Well, you know, guys got to make a living, right?
He's got to make a
family,
living.
right? Yeah,
China. But when we're buying half our stuff from China, you're going to buy, like, where the hell where are pool noodles made? Anybody know?
Easily China. I mean, I can look around my office here, and it's like, how much stuff here has been made in China?
You?
Like everything here, really?
You're just
So
focusing on the Chinese guy right now.
yeah, pretty much.
But you were made in Canada,
Yes, I was. Anyways, so
partially assembled by a Canadian, partially assembled by a
partially,
Chinese.
yeah, exactly, right. But like even
But
like the TV, all that stuff, it's all in China, right?
yeah, would you want a Canadian made? What would you want? What the hell would you want? Okay, let's just say you're a carpenter.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a contractor. Are you going to trade in your Milwaukee tools for what? Mastercraft? Like, fuck, you're not going to.
No,
Or
no,
Power Fist
God,
from
yes.
from Princess Auto?
No, God, no. There's a reason that the stuff is cheaper, right?
Dollarama
It's
is in
just
trouble if we ban China. Here's the thing: I have shares of Dollarama.
absolutely it is. Dollarama is going to be in not a good place.
What are
Like
you going to
it'll
buy
be
from Dollarama that's made in Canada?
they'll have to change to from Dollarama to like Dozen Rama or something
Scott
because everything's
towels.
going to go up in price.
Colleen goes to like there you go. There again. Colleen, she awarded herself the ability to travel. She goes to Europe all the time, and she'd rather spend her money there because you can actually enjoy your money. And I
Yep,
love Dollar. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with Dollarama, and here's why.
yep.
We will buy the cheapest pieces of shit from Dollarama because it serves the purpose for the moment. I'm going to ask you how many pieces of Tupperware your mother still has from when you were a kid.
Oh,
Is the
there'd be a
pitcher
few.
still
Yeah,
there? The big green puke
it's
bowl?
absolutely yeah.
Okay. And they lasted. You spent, and they were
Yeah,
expensive. Tupperware was expensive, but you bought it
sure
once in your
were.
lifetime.
Yeah, you hand it down for generations.
Right. Where my Dollarama, if you want to get really fancy and schmoozy about it,
Yeah,
Dollarama stuff, it's okay. It serves its
yeah,
purpose. We use their containers in the camper all the time, and it's
yeah.
fantastic for that. But this is not going to last, and everything
No,
breaks.
yeah.
Would I rather spend a $2 on something in Dollarama or spend, I don't know, $100 on a Tupperware set?
50, yeah, $100, yeah.
That's going to last me for a very long time.
And how
However,
badly do you really think on your deathbed you're gonna look to your children, hold their hand, and go, look after my Tupperware. It's my
Pyrex,
gift to you. This is my gift to you.
be my Tupperware. Yeah,
In
I
the
would take,
will,
dude. If I could get my mother's big green bowl that she made our bread dough in and our pierogi dough, and then we puked in it when we were sick, and then she made bread dough in it
Yeah.
again when we were healthy. That was the bowl, the big green bowl. It had a lid.
Well, you know what they call that for our generation, right? The
No.
Blockbuster bowls. The
Ooh.
popcorn bowls.
The popcorn bowl. Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
sick, just put that next to the
yeah,
bed. But
yeah.
Colleen's talking about the Pyrex. Pyrex, that should have last you like that'll survive a war.
Damn straight. Yeah, it will outlive cockroaches.
I don't know what it's made. It's glass, but the shit lasts forever.
Yeah.
And we why spend like okay, here's what I'm guilty of. IKEA.
Yeah.
Not American.
No.
Okay, so would we still buy? Okay, there you go. We're saying we're only going to buy Canadian.
Yeah.
Does that mean we're not going to buy IKEA?
No, it means we'll buy
IKEA's not
everyone
American.
else's, but American, right?
If you want the shittiest furniture on the planet, go to IKEA. It's
No,
cheap.
no, not at all. Not at all. The shittiest stuff on the planet, Canadian Tire.
Oh, Colleen is about to argue with that. Colleen is saying that, oh, her Pyrex, yes. Nothing beats the Corningware stuff from our mom. The Corningware, the orange bowl with the design and the two little handles,
Live forever.
or the plates. Remember the plates that were like
With the little
indestructible?
flowers on them, around
Really
the edges?
thin
Yeah.
plates. Okay, back to IKEA. I bought those kind of plates from IKEA.
Yeah.
And one of them was so misshapen. I don't know who the hell was sleeping at the wheel when they made this thing, but it looks weird. But we kept it because it's really oddly shaped. But they were 99 cents a plate, and they're simple white plates.
Yeah.
And they stack really easy because they're thin, and they're fantastic.
Except for the weird one.
It's weird, man. It almost looks like a clover. Like it's so misshapen.
So the funny thing is, all the plates and the glasses, or most of the glasses I have, I took from the restaurant. They're all commercial grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're solid stuff. Like the stuff, like the plates, the white plates are so solid that I've actually dropped them on our kitchen floor, on our tile floor, and it chipped the tile.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
The plate's fine, right? Those things are indestructible.
But
They
now you
will
gotta get a
outlive
contractor in to
us.
fix your floor.
Well, that's the problem. Now it's
Wh-
really expensive. But those things have outlasted every single plate and glass and everything I've ever owned because
And you
they're
know what?
time eternal.
Your patriotic contractor is gonna show up with Mastercraft tools. You'd be like,
Oh
are
God,
you sure?
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to be a trader in that regard. So
Shop at secondhand stores. We're all decluttering. Yeah, you probably get a lot of Corningworth at secondhand stores. You want to hear something weird about me? I'll tell you something weird. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to tell you.
well, there's a lot.
I
So
cannot wear anybody else's anything. I
yeah,
can't
it's got
borrow
to
a
make your
sweater.
wife happy.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh, my hoodies are gone whenever I get a good one. But I can't. I cannot. I cannot wear. I cannot borrow clothes. I think it's the most disgusting thing a person could do. When I see women lending each other shoes, it makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, this is.
Or
I
those.
know where those have been. So
Well, the thing is, you've got the science fair projects that were Uggs back in the day because they would
yeah,
barefoot into those sheepskin petri
uh,
dishes
yeah,
and then borrow each other's shoes. I'm like, ladies, can you explain to me why you'd borrow each other's shoes? And half of them don't
yeah.
wear socks. And here's the thing: if I put a foot into a shoe without a sock on, I believe I've ruined that shoe.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
Colleen, I can't. I can't. Like, I couldn't borrow. I don't care if it's 40 below. I'm not borrowing a jacket. I just can't do it.
Yeah, a little nasty.
I've also
Suffer a little bit.
I'd rather suffer, but also I've seen some shit. Like all
Yeah.
those years in the chair, I've seen lice, I've seen shit, like flaky things. I
Eh.
cannot allow myself to wear. That's disgusting. It is disgusting with shoes. Explain to me how women are comfortable lending each other clothing. There's nothing. There is nothing that you could possibly own that I would ever want to put on my body that was worn by another human being.
Yeah.
If there's
Nope,
a chance you
that's gross.
sweated in it or did anything worse in it, I'm worried about that.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta run, man. I gotta
Okay.
get out of here.
Okay,
You
man.
keep going. We'll chat again.
Okay, I'll blast off about shit.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Okay. Chat
Have a
later.
good
Bye.
one. We'll talk. Okay, I wonder if I should just switch this right to TikTok and just hit the studio there. Anyway, guys, yeah, so bye. Jay says bye. I'm still here if you guys want to still chat. Anyway, we're talking about, and the whole reason for tonight's stream was to talk about the fact that as much as we really want to, whether it's shop local or say we're only going to buy Canadian, the reality is we're not going to. Some of us might, and God bless you if you can. But if it comes to building supplies or mechanics tools or the booze that we drink, the clothes we wear, like name a Canadian clothing line and I'll give you $1 because there's nothing that I could say we're gonna just buy. Like we're gonna still buy American stuff. I think that I would sooner support my friend who owns a business that sells stuff that he has to source from the States because that's how he's feeding his family. So if I own a shop, please explain this to Americans. Okay, you're American though, Molly. So we get the things we want from the States. The States get the things that they need from us. Does that make more sense? Like lots of our lumber, our materials, the things you need to make the things that they think they can make stuff here that they can't. They do have heavier manufacturing than we do. There's no doubt about it. But in order for the manufacturing to happen, they have to get the raw materials from us for the most part, or they should, or they do. And when that supply chain gets disrupted, it's going to seriously hurt the other side because they won't be able to produce, which means it won't have as many jobs. So I think we all need to learn how to play a little bit nicer in the sandbox and figure this out. We've been exactly, a lot of people don't understand this. Well, and the thing is, they don't understand it. Maybe it's because we're hearing a very strong one side, and because as Canadians and it being on our nature that we oh my god, she bites her nails but can't use my kitchen towel. Yeah, I hear you, Colleen. I'm a paper towel guy. I will only I'm weird for that too. But no, when you look at the difference between supply and demand and supply, and like we work really well in sync. And we're happy to supply. and Americans are great at building stuff, and we're happy to buy the things that they build. So our needs, for the most part, Canadians we can fill our needs. That's not a problem. We can all the things we need, we have, and we're rich in that. When it comes to wants, we buy our wants from you guys. So what happens when the wants are being turned away from the States? Well, where do we go? 90% of stuff that we want is probably built in China anyway, and it's coming from an American supplier. So it's going to come from a Chinese supplier instead. So I mean, there are things that are going to change, but they don't really have to. I mean, I think that we can all get along and figure this out in a reasonable fashion. I don't believe that Canadians have been really messing with the States, unless Molly, you're from the States. What's the vibe down there? Like, do Americans down there believe that Canadians are really screwing them in any way, shape, or form? Or do a lot of them think this is kind of ridiculous that we are kind of being targeted in a weird way because we're technically allies? Like, we have fought in every war that the States have fought in. We back them as much as we can. It just seems like there's a huge imbalance in this. You still there, Molly? Because I'd like to know your take on this. It's split, really. Well, that's fair. I mean, it's I think it's a hot topic, and I think that the fact that there's so much energy and emotion that's driving this right now. I don't think people quite understand which way to think, and that's happening on both sides of the border. I think that Canadians are very defensive right now, and somehow this has united us. It really depends on who you talk to, and that's going to happen here too. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to say that the Americans are targeting Canada. I think that, and I've said this before, when Trump was running, I believe in his skill set. I believe that he's an amazing negotiator. I think that you need to run a country like you run a business and don't bleed money all over the place. I think that he knows what he wants and he can make things happen. He can right the ship. I think it's in my point of view anyway, it's gone from righting the ship to kind of an extreme. Unless the end game is just to right the ship and make things better. But I think Canadians are feeling the pinch. They're feeling really defensive, and I think that we really want to see this sort of level out to a point where both sides are winning without getting absorbed, which isn't it's not a completely illogical thing from an economic standpoint. But I can see it becoming more of a union, kind of like the EU, where they have an economic union. So Canada's still Canada, the States are still the States, and whatever other country's part of it is their own entity. But we share a currency. The border kind of dissolves a little bit in that if I decided I want to go move to Milwaukee, I could. All I'm going to say is people that live here need to stop thinking that we are the only people in the world and that the world should be allowed to have their own things. That makes sense. And I believe that for the most part, Canadians are the same way. We're like, you know what? We're here to help. And we've gotten along for many, many years. And I think that a fight between the two doesn't make any sense. Like, if depending on how it's sold, how you sell something is how people are going to buy things, right? So again, hats off to your president that he's very, very convincing. There's no doubt he's convincing. So if he can sway it one way or the other, he will. And it's not a completely illogical thing to say where, hey, these guys have been X, Y, and Z for so long. Yeah, but you kind of dig into it and you look at the things that we do help them with and you guys help us with. And I think for the most part, Canadians, we like Americans. Like, we're friends, we're buddies, we're the cousins up, we're the cousins to the north. But I think that the line's been drawn, and I'm hoping that line can be dissolved a little bit. It's just getting old. It is, but the problem is it's the hot topic right now, right? Like, again, Jay and I talk about a lot of light stuff, and it's kind of going down that deep end of hitting the politics. But no, I think that both sides can win as long as we both are willing to give a little bit and to sort of get along and chill. You know, it's I think that we have better things to fire about. You sent me a whisper. Oh, you sent me a whisper. I got to look at that on my phone later on because I have no idea how to do it on my computer. But hey, guys, you know what? Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. I don't know if we covered anything that was actually solid, but we had a good talk about it. Did you get it? Hang on. Let me take a look. See. This is rude. Like, I'm now checking my phone while I'm trying to do a stream. Am I okay? Tash, Molly, you guys actually watch someone who does this properly. Your thoughts, whisper your thoughts. Tell me if this is actually entertaining, because if it's not, I will gladly like shift gears and do something different. So QD on PC? Yeah, QD on PC. How come I don't know how to do whispers? Do I have to find you? How do I even find this? Oh, activities. Ah, look, I got a whisper thing. Do. Okay, I'll get into that later. That's awesome. Love that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for showing up. We're gonna come up with something a little more. Well, you know what? Whatever. It was fun. We had a whiskey. We talked about everything from bourbon to free trade. I found the whispers. I just found the whispers. So I'm gonna get into Smalley once I finish up here. I'm gonna put the clones to sleep, and I will tell you what I know. But I gotta be quiet because I can't talk about it on live stream because it's a very. I love hanging here. You know what? I dig that. Thanks for showing up. Okay, guys, have a super awesome weekend. Do your thing. Good night, and we'll see you guys next week sometime. Cheers.